before I get into this video, I'd like to just tell you all that yes, this is something that I have been struggling with, and yes, I've done my research. No, I have not spoken to my doctors about this, and I'll get into that a little more later. But I just want you to know that it's something that's, been hard for me to film. Something that I've been struggling with for a while now, and it's not easy for me to talk about, so please bear with me, and I hope you all understand. I'm not asking for pity. I'm not asking for, for you to feel sorry for me. I'm just trying to relate to you on a more real level. The good and the bad. I'm not trying to just, present myself as, happy all the time, because I'm not. Who is though, Something that I've been debating on talking about and filming for a while, just because it's something that's, one, not easy for me, and two, I've been kind of afraid to see like who would actually still be there for me after this. Okay, so maybe I should start before I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, I struggled with depression and anxiety already. Wasn't too bad, depression from, things that I was struggling with in high school. My anxiety was super bad to the point where, like certain situations would make me feel uncomfortable, and it would prevent me from going places just because, like I had a bad instinct on it, or, I second guessed myself, and like my anxiety was like through the roof. Like I experienced really bad panic attacks to the point where I confused them with heart attacks, as if I were to know what it was. But I would feel like my heart is stopping. Like first it would race really bad and it would hurt my chest, and then all of a sudden it would slow down and it felt like it would stop, like it was stopping, So there's been a couple times where I've called 911 and went to the hospital because, I thought something else was going on. Like my blood pressure was through the roof, and I couldn't stop shaking and like freaking out. It's things like that, like really bad panic attack. Pregnant, all the hormones and, emotions, they were just flying everywhere. Didn't help my anxiety. My depression, I was pretty happy, so, I didn't really feel like I was depressed. But my anxiety, like, for little things, like if I were to get on a plane when I was pregnant, like I would always like hyperventilate and freak out and get like so dizzy to the point where I felt like I was gonna faint. And like it's just little things that I shouldn't have freaked out over. I did, because I was the type of person to always like worry about something harming my baby inside of my tummy. If I started eating a piece of meat and it looked pink to me, I don't know, it would look pink to me, but not my husband. It's just like things when you're in freak out mode, you start seeing things. And I would freak out and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, are you sure it's okay that I had this? And, like, is something gonna happen to the baby? I need to call the doctor. Should I go to get a checkup? And things like that. And I know I probably irritated my husband, but, to the point where he was so understanding with it. But sometimes, he is human. So sometimes he would just be like, oh my gosh, you're fine. Like, let it go. Nothing's gonna happen. And I completely understand. Fast forwarding, I was getting really anxious about having my son because, like they say labor is scary. For me, I wasn't really scared. As soon as my water broke, I was just ready, So I didn't really feel anxious when I was about to have my baby, but for me, I would say it didn't kick in until maybe 2 weeks postpartum, because I started feeling, really sad because I would see all these people going out and having fun, and I was stuck with a newborn. I love my son and everything, but this was just like my mindset, like I loved being home with my baby, but it's just like I was starting to miss who I was before, and I was starting to miss going out and, not looking so greasy and grimy and disgusting all the time, and, just feeling pretty, getting dolled up. And then at 2 weeks postpartum, since I had a C-section, I didn't really get the flat tummy. I know a lot of moms don't get it right away. Not flat, but like not looking like you're like 7 months pregnant still. But for me, in my situation, I was still looking like I was like 7, 8 months pregnant. So it was making me like pretty insecure. I expect to like, bounce back right away. But it just made me feel kind of self-conscious that I was still looking pretty pregnant. And, all these girls, like, they don't have any gut, like, they're skinny and they're fit and they can wear whatever they want. They can eat whatever they want without bloating up like a fish. That's how it started. So at 3 weeks postpartum, my son started gravitating more towards his dad. So since I was breastfeeding him, it kind of felt like a betrayal. I felt like he didn't love me anymore because whenever I held him, he started screaming and I was exhausted. I was literally sleeping like 3 hours a night, if that. And it wasn't even like back to back. It would be like separated 3 hours. I was exhausted. I haven't showered in 2 days. Like, I wasn't feeling like myself. And now my little tiny human that I just grew for 9 months and now birthed didn't want anything to do with me. Like, he was screaming and crying and he would only calm down until his dad would hold him. So I felt like my son didn't love me, and I laugh about it now, but before, like, I was really bawling my eyes out. I was searching on Google, like, why is my son not attached to me? Like, why is he acting like he doesn't love me? And I feel so alone, and I literally felt like I didn't want to be on this earth anymore. And I know that sounds so dramatic, but it's just when you're going through all these emotions, like up and down, fluctuating, like, it really messes with your head. A few months passed. I'm still dealing with the depression. It wasn't as, gravitated towards little things like that. It was just, it started to get worse. And as months passed, like, it's just been like, again, I see everybody out and having fun, and I'm at home and I never get a chance to go out because, I don't really have anybody to watch my baby, which is fine, because I love being home with my kid, but it's just, it's just that moment that you feel like you need a day or a night to yourself or spend time with your significant other, like, you feel like you just have to get your self-identity back. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you ever feel like that, you're still a great mom. It's nothing to worry about. We all go through it, I'm sure. We're entitled to have a break. Whoever says we're not, oh well, they've obviously never had kids. You shouldn't listen to them. You have nobody to watch your kid. It's just like, it feels super draining. And I know it's nobody's responsibility but mine and my husband's. But a lot of people are blessed to have multiple people who are literally on call for them. To watch their kid whenever they please, and they can go out like every week and every weekend or whatever. Me and my husband don't have that luxury, and I'm not asking for pity. It's just something that I feel. Now, being almost 11 months postpartum, I still am suffering really bad because of my body. I expected myself to look way better than I do now. I expected myself to be, having a flatter stomach and tighter thighs. Like, I just expected myself to be fit again. But I find myself not having any motivation to work out or wanting to go to the gym. Like, I want to be fit. Trust me, I want to be fit. But it's just, I lack the motivation to even like go to the gym, which is literally like, so I live in a complex and we have 2 gyms. And it's literally like a 2-3 minute walk from here, but I don't have motivation. And my husband works, so I just feel really guilty to sit here and be like, oh, can I go to the gym while you watch the baby? I know it's his kid. I know it's his responsibility, but it's just things like that. Like, when you suffer from postpartum depression, you experience guilt, you experience anxiety, you experience, mood swings, you experience, just wanting to be alone, you experience lack of motivation. It's a lot of things, you know, that you go through. My husband, you know, he tries to be super patient with me, but like I have my days where my moods are just all over the place, and I'm talking like not even when I'm on my, you know, monthly Mother Nature call, like 3 times worse when I'm on that. But for any other normal day, like I don't have good and bad days. I have good and bad moments. 5 minutes I can be happy, and then the next 20 minutes I'll be upset about, you know, anything or everything. Like if somebody makes me upset about, you know, some stupid little thing, my mood swings are just all over the place. And I feel like people think that I'm like a mean person. I know it's something that people think that you control, but you can't. You know, you really can't. Like I try to control my emotions. It's just a lot. It's really hard to do. You know? I suffer with guilt, hence why I won't leave my baby and go to work. Just don't feel like I can do that to my kid, and I know how attached he is to me, and I'm the only person that, you know, knows how to take care of him on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I know my husband does as well, but he's not here all day like I am. So, you know, like I feel like nobody is as patient with my kid as I will be. I deal with mood swings, and I'm telling you, like, 1 minute I'll be happy, and then the next minute I'll just be like super exhausted. And it's to the point where like sometimes I told myself I wasn't gonna get emotional, but sometimes like I love my baby more than anything. He's the biggest blessing in my life, but it's just sometimes I'm super exhausted, and you know, being exhausted, and then my husband comes home exhausted, and then I don't really have human interaction all day because, you know, I don't really talk to people. And you know, that's oh my god, I told myself I wouldn't do this. Days where I'll be in the mood to conversate with somebody, and then there's days where I just want to be left alone. It's like part of me wants to be left alone, and then the other part of me wants to actually talk to people, but I can't. The reason why I can't is because it's not that I don't want to talk to them. It's just that I don't know how to hold conversations with somebody when I'm feeling really down, and I'm feeling really exhausted, and it may seem like nothing to get emotional over, but it's to the point where I've lost, like, you know, potential friendships. I've lost people in my life because they think that I'm ignoring them, or they think that I'm very antisocial, or that I just ignore them to be mean. I promise you, like if I've ever left you on red, or if you message me and I don't message back until like a week later, it's not because I don't like you. It's not because I don't want to talk to you. It's just because like I'm going through a lot, and I don't want to like basically half-ass a conversation. I'm always there for people, and you know, not everybody's there for me. And I've come to realize that, especially after becoming a mom, that I'll give my all to be there for somebody when they need it, but when I'm going through a lot and I reach out to somebody, you know, which is really rare for me to do, I just feel like they don't really care, and that hurts me. It makes me feel like I should shut myself even more, you know, shut myself out from the world even more, which is not something that I should be. Times where I feel like people just message me because they want something, and it really hurts my feelings. And I know half of the time that's not the situation, but it makes me, you know, depression makes you feel that way, as if nobody is really there for you, and that you're essentially alone, when I know I'm not alone. I have my husband, I have my family, I have my baby, I have God always, you know. I'm never alone, but it's just it's a constant battle in your head. I should be more social, but I've had friends leave because they don't understand my situation, and they expected me to make more time for them, as you know, as if I weren't a mom. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a mom. I can't dedicate going out with you every other day like I did before. And I can't be calling you and texting you every day because, you know, I'm going through my own thing. And people just don't understand that. So I've had people walk out of my life, which is fine, you know, because maybe they were never meant to be there in the first place. You have a new mom in your life, please don't neglect them. You know, like, we're going through a lot, you know, emotion wise and physically and mentally. It's a lot to deal with after having a baby. Just check in on them when you can. Simple text or call, or, you know, ask if they need you to come over and help them to even get a shower or something. You know, it's a lot for women to go through. Once you birth that baby, all your emotions and your hormones start to fly and go crazy. So just please don't neglect people who have babies. Doesn't matter if their baby is 1 week old or 1 month old or even a year old. You know, we're all fighting our silent battles, and this is something I really don't tell people about. I've just never felt the need to, because I'm a person that, like I said, I like to keep to myself. So there's times where, like, instead of calling someone for support, I would just sit here and have my 10-minute cry and then go about my day. I've never told my doctor because I know they're gonna just put me in therapy, and I've tried therapy before, not for this specific postpartum depression, but for my anxiety, and it didn't really help me at all. I don't like opening up to people, especially people I don't know. So like I said, this is a big thing for me. And then I know they would resort to antidepressants, and I don't want to rely on a medication for the rest of my life. I know it works for a lot of people, but for me, I don't really believe in that option for myself. I still go through these phases where I feel like I'm not good enough, and, you know, I shouldn't be a mom because, you know, my son deserves better. Even though I give him the world, and I know I treat him as good as possible, but it's just like there are days where my son crying and crying and crying will frustrate me, and I don't mean to, but I yell at him, and I know he doesn't understand. And, like, I'll literally just yell at him, stop crying, like, you're okay. And I feel super bad after, just the look on his face, and then I immediately go and comfort him. But it's just like I have my days where I don't want to do anything. I just want to be in bed, but I can't. And, you know, I'm super blessed to be a mom. I'm super blessed to have my son, but it's just like I'm human as well, and I feel these type of emotions, and I feel these things that keep me from being happy. And I know I shouldn't be feeling this way because I need to be the best mom possible to my baby. But there's just days, you know, like days where I'm super happy and I'll play with him all day, and then there's days where I'm like super exhausted and I just want to sit there, and his cry is just so annoying, and I feel bad, you know, I feel super bad. And it's not his fault at all. It's something that I'm still dealing with, and I'm still gonna keep dealing with it. I can beat this, you all can beat this. It's hopefully only temporary. If not, we'll all try to beat it some way or another. I like to distract myself by watching, you know, TV or playing loud music, or, you know, I would say go for a walk because that's something I love doing. But even getting out of bed and, like, getting myself dressed, or, you know, getting me and my baby dressed just to go for a 10-minute walk, like, I don't see the point in it, because I know it's good for my baby, but it's just like mentally, when you're super depressed, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to get ready. You don't want to go outside. So when my husband is off on the weekend, we tend to just try to get out of the house. I thank him for, you know, really dragging me out of the house when I need to be, because like I said, during the week, I literally don't like to leave my house, and I'll literally stay in my pajamas all day because that's, you know, I just have no motivation to do anything. I don't want to go outside and walk. I don't have motivation to exercise. Like, the most I'll do is clean the house and cook, you know, because those things make me happy. But anything else, even days, like, I even have days where I don't want to do even those things. I don't feel productive, and I feel like I wasted my day. And I literally watched the sunrise and then the sunset, and I'm like, wow, like, I really stayed home. And then I get mad at myself over it at night. But then again, like, I still don't try to fix it the next day because my mind and my body just won't let me do it. So it's days like that where I'm in constant battle with myself and my mind, and I'm hoping it gets better. And my goal for myself is to start replying to people and answering people, because shutting people out is just making my situation even more worse. And like I said, I don't mean to, but it's just something that I'm in the habit of doing because like I said, there's days I just don't feel like I want to communicate with people. But I will say this, you are really going through it really bad, and you feel like you're going to hurt your baby, you should really seek help. It means you are going through something really bad and you are unable to do it on your own. I never physically felt like I had the need to hurt my baby. There's been times where I feel like I had to yell at my baby because he wasn't listening or he was frustrating me, but I've never thought to hurt my baby. So if you do feel that way, please, please, please seek help. You are not alone. You will not be judged, but it's better to get help than to either hurt yourself or your baby or someone you love. So please reach out. If you don't see that you can get professional help, you know, you can always reach out to me. I know that I am still suffering with it, but I love to help others even though I'm feeling down, and it's just something that I do. I'm always going to be there for people regardless of how I'm dealing with my situation. So if you ever feel like you have the need to communicate with someone and you want someone to understand, I understand. I will link my Instagram down below. You can personally message me. And, you know, with people going through this, of course, I'm not going to ignore you. I will try my best to reply to you. So if you ever feel the need to reach out to somebody, just know I'm here for you. Don't feel like you're a bad person because you're not. It's not the person that you are. It's just how you're physically exhausted and mentally exhausted, and it's just something that you're dealing with and you're having a really hard time. So don't ever feel like you're a terrible person if you do feel this way. But I was able to help at least one of you, and please feel free to contact me if you ever need to talk to somebody. And please don't forget to like and comment down below what you'd like to see next, and hit that post bell for notifications to get a notification every time we post a video. And see you next time. Bye.